네. So it's Thursday, right?
Yes.
Second half of our show.
It is.
Time to get your, I guess, mind and heart
To get your head in the game.
and head in the game, but at more of like a, like peaceful state
Peaceful state.
and a very understanding state.
Is it?
Yeah,
It's time for our heads to be checked.
that too, right?
It's time for 원장님. 오정아의 마음톡톡.
네, mind talk with our in-house therapist
Yeah.
우리 오정아 원장님과 함께합니다. 원장님 안녕하십니까?
네, 원장님 안녕하세요.
Hello everyone. This is 오정아 from Chicago Therapeutic Center, Chicago 심신치유센터.
네, 원장님, thank you so much for coming in. How was it yesterday for you? Were you okay?
Oh, I was so scared by the sound. Like, my window was shaking.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, I was okay though.
Okay.
But
Good to
It's a
hear.
little bit scary though, you
Yeah.
know?
Like I said, I never heard the wind howl that much, right? 우리 충전사님 saying hello 원장님. 네.
네, 안녕하세요.
안녕하십니까?
네.
네, 오늘의 mind talk, 마음 톡톡. What do you have for us today?
Yeah. So when I introduce myself to people saying that I'm an art therapist, they are usually curious about what art therapy is and what art therapists do. So before I explain to them what real art therapy is, I realize that they already have their own assumptions or some knowledge of art therapy through media or somewhere else. So I'm surprised to find out that they have some misinformation or misconceptions of art therapy. So I'd like to talk about what art therapy is and 4 common misconceptions of art therapy today.
Yeah, because I think I've shared with you and Laura a couple times, I always thought art therapy was just drawing pictures and then somebody just analyzing the picture. Like I thought that's what art therapy was for me,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's psychotherapy.
I guess, yeah. So I guess there's different forms of it, but that's like my idea of it.
My idea, so I've been very fortunate that I've worked with 원장님 before in the past on an event, and also
No fair.
one of my my old staff members, my previous staff members, was an art therapist, a mindful art therapist. So I have quite a good understanding of what it can be and what it can look like, but there's so many different things that you can do with art. So therapy can look lots of different ways as well. So it's just kind of, I guess, depends on the practitioner.
Yeah. So let's hear it from the expert. So to begin, what exactly is art therapy, 원장님?
Art therapy is a form of psychotherapy that uses creative activities as means of expression and communication to improve mental, emotional, and psychological well-being. So it's a mental health profession which has been established since the 1940s by Margaret Numberg, who was an American psychologist, artist, educator, and author.
So a lot of questions that people have are like, why would you use art in therapy sessions?
Right. So there are 2 significant reasons. The first, when we talk and draw, we are using different parts of our brain. So when we talk, we use the left hemisphere, which is associated with the logical and conscious mind. On the other hand, when we draw, we are using the right hemisphere, which is associated with emotions and unconscious mind. These creative activities like drawing help us to reach our deeper level of mind.
Yeah. So that's the first reason, right? What about the second one?
The second reason is art can help us to make invisible things visible. What I mean by this is we can feel emotions, right? But we cannot see them. However, when we draw emotions, we can visualize our emotions much more clearly. So through art activity, you'll be able to release and reorganize your emotions.
I think that's such an important word, reorganize your emotions. Because a lot of people think you're going to fix me. And it's not about that. It's about the reorganization, the understanding, the
Right.
processing.
Yeah. So like the main misconception that I had, I thought, was you just draw and somebody analyzes and that's it.
And they
right?
say, this is what's wrong with you. This
Yeah.
is what you need to fix.
And you're not even like, this is what you need to fix. Like, this is what's wrong with you.
Oh.
But then, you know, 원장님 mentioned to improve mental, emotional, and psychological well-being, right? That's what at the heart of it was. So I don't know, maybe I just didn't like pay for like the second half of the session. But let's get to like those misconceptions you mentioned. So
Yeah,
I guess
sure.
there are 4 common misconceptions when it comes to art therapy.
Yeah. So let's go over some common statements or thoughts people have. The first statement is that art therapy is only for children. 미술 치료는 아이들만을 위한 것이다. Is this true or false?
Of course, false, right?
Yeah. I was not a child when I did mine.
I think you didn't pay for the first session. That's why they didn't give you a second.
Like they didn't like take me seriously.
And they just didn't let you come back.
Yeah. But I did see a lot of adults, you know, doing it with me. So false.
Yes, it's false. Yes, we work with children, but art therapy is not only for children. Like other therapists, we also work with adults and seniors who have family conflicts, mental disorders, psychological and cognitive problems. However, I think many art therapists in Korea work primarily with children.
Okay, so even though there's a lot of, you know, therapists who do work with children, it's not a therapy that is designed specifically for
Right,
children,
that's
right?
true.
Okay, what's the second misconception?
Yeah, the second statement is that I cannot draw, so art therapy may not be a good fit for me. 저는 그림을 못 그려서 미술 치료가 저한테 잘 안 맞을 것 같아요. Is this true or false?
I mean, I can't draw
I can't
for the
draw.
life of me. So, and they
mean-
had me do it. So,
It's obviously false, but this is exactly what I would think as well. I can't draw, so instead of getting the help that I really need, the mental health help that I need, I'll be
Exactly.
like, 아, 진짜 못해. 진짜
맞아요.
못해.
맞아요.
Right. It's a false.
Yeah.
There is no fixed way to create images in art therapy. So we do not expect you to draw an accurate, visible picture or make beautiful and perfect art. So basically, you do not have to possess any artistic experience. You only need the willingness to explore yourself.
Yeah, because some people might think, oh, like if I don't draw well, this is not going to be effective for me. And I can't, you know, clearly express what I'm thinking and my feelings, but everybody has their own way.
Yeah.
Right? Good to know. What is the third one?
The third statement is that art therapists will read my drawing and analyze what kind of psychological problems I have.
Minsu.
Yeah, see? I went into mine thinking this was what it was supposed to be, so I thought true. 그런데?
But yeah, it's a false. In media, they show art therapists who read children's artwork, so people expect an art therapist to interpret what is going on with their children.
Yeah.
So, so many, times people brought an image and asked me, "This is what my child drew. So can you pick apart or analyze what kinds of problems my child has?"
Great. That's like when someone comes to me and says, "Hi there, let's be friends. Also, could you teach my child English?"
Yeah.
There's a little motive in there. That must be exhausting if people come to you like that.
Right. So I say I do not analyze someone's artwork because I cannot tell unless I see how your child drew this image and how he or she explained his or her picture. Also, I was trained in America to not analyze clients' artwork only from my view because my perspective is not always accurate for different backgrounds of people based on their culture, religion, ethnicity, and so on.
Yeah.
Right.
Lots of things to consider, I think.
Yeah.
You know?
But I think Hollywood does that to us. Like TV shows, especially American TV shows that I've seen. I've not really seen any Korean TV shows that much. But like you see people going to therapy and the doctor is like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Just like you just open the door and 생긴 것만 해도.
And
right?
like, so TV teaches us all we learn about certain things, like spring break. That's how I learned about spring break, was through TV.
Oh,
Still never seen one.
that is
Still never
not the
been
best
to
place
one.
to see what spring break is all about.
There you go, right? So it's very interesting.
Right.
And what is the fourth one, 원장님?
The fourth statement is that art therapists are not real therapists.
How
So-
dare somebody say that about 원장님, right? So there is the
So,
common theme here. It's false,
Yes,
right?
It's
Yeah.
false.
Yeah.
All art therapists have at least a master's degree in counseling and art therapy in America. In order to be a registered art therapist, it's called ATR. A minimum of 1,000 direct contact hours using art therapy and 100 of supervision after graduating with a master's degree are needed. So, and then you need to submit all the education, work experience documents to the art therapy credential board. And if you are certified, you become an ATR. So personally, it took me almost 3 years to be an ATR.
Wow. It's a long time.
Yeah, but in Korea, though, the regulations are different, and there isn't a centralized certification system. So please do your research when choosing an art therapist.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. I think this hopefully cleared up the air for a lot of people. It did certainly for me of what art therapy and an art therapist is. Then let's get to like examples of art therapy. I think this could maybe paint a more detailed picture for some of our listeners. Is there maybe like an art therapy case that you'd like to share with us?
Sure. There are many cases to share. One client was a remarried woman in her early 40s. She came in because of the conflict with her current husband. And during her art therapy session, there is an
We're going to
image.
see what she drew. or
Yeah,
what
so
she
for
created.
people on our YouTube, you could actually see the picture of the case that 원장님 is sharing with us.
But the thing is, I just want to clarify that those images that I'm showing you is not the client made. So I'm just showing the process.
For
okay.
example.
Because in the session, actually, we are not taking photos while we are talking,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
kind of things, and so it's hard for me to have the step-by-step images. But so I got here and there, and
Yeah.
show you guys the process.
Yeah.
And so she drew her own emotions. Like 6 of emotion cards, and then talked about each of them, and then the second image is that listed
The emotions.
yeah
So it's
listed
coming up. There we go.
yeah the layers of the emotion cards based on how deep or light the emotions were. So deep emotion means you keep it in deep inside of you. You don't show or talk about it to others. Light emotion means you show that emotions to others easily. So she made the lineup the cards, and then the process helped her to think about those images subjectively and objectively. And the process helped her to think about those, and then I asked her to choose with whatever card that she wanted to get rid of. And the third image, and she ripped up some of the cards that she chose,
Yeah.
and then created out of the
Like cards that she ripped up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for those on our YouTube right now, it's like those emotion cards that this person drew, and then you asked her to you choose whatever card you want to let go of, and then she ripped up those cards.
Yeah,
Right?
while she was, ripped up the card, and she was able to talk to the emotion. Like what I mean by is like she was like saying, I don't want to see you again. I was really hard time because of you. Kind of things, and so she was able to talk to the emotions internally or out loud.
Yeah.
And so that was helpful as well.
Yeah. It's interesting. Yeah. So once again, this is nothing like what I what I did. But like I guess when it comes to therapists, I guess there's even like different like styles when it comes to like asking people what to draw and what to do with it afterwards, right? Yeah. Very interesting.
So the process is not in any books or anything. So I created the steps, and then that's my way to do it.
Gotcha.
And the last image that I asked her to create new image out of the ripped up the cards, and so there was like. It didn't have any title or anything. I just asked her, you can create anything you want out of the pieces. And then the image, you can see the center is the yellow part, and then, the outside is kind of dark, but but it was like she explained to me that the image was totally dark, like before she came to me, but then now like she can see the hope inside of her, and so that's how she created the image.
It's so deep, and
Yeah.
it's just such a complex process because dealing with your own emotions is very hard.
It
It's a
is
very hard thing.
So, so it's a long process of art therapy. So unfortunately, it's hard for us to try in a limited time in the
Yeah,
studio.
Yeah.
obviously.
But we can try similar to this process next time.
Yeah.
And then so throughout the process, she cried and said, I didn't know how hard it was to break up with my ex-husband, and realized that she subconsciously worried that her current husband would make the same mistake that her ex-husband had made. So she had it. She said it was the first time for her to try art therapy, but unexpectedly the process was so powerful and helped her to release from unresolved emotions. In addition, she had a new perspective on her current husband.
Yeah, that's good, and hopefully that will help her current relationship as well.
Yeah. Anything that you'd like to add to this, 원장님?
Sure. To reiterate, we are mental health professions who work with people from children to seniors with any level of art skills, so you only need to explore yourself. Furthermore, we use verbal and non-verbal expressions in art therapy sessions to help clients to express their thoughts, emotions, and feelings through art. So we will observe what you are drawing and listen to your stories rather than analyzing it, and help you to understand yourself on a deeper level.
I want someone to analyze me, though. I want to draw something and then say, analyze this. And then they'll be like,
Actually, you're in luck.
You gonna do it?
Because not just today, but actually for the next couple of weeks, 우리 원장님 is going to continue on the topic of art therapy, and you're going to try some stuff out with us here in the
Yes.
studio, right?
Yes.
Next week, maybe?
So next week, well, I will bring some art materials, and we can try art therapy method with Minsu and Laura in the studio. Our listeners are welcome to prepare some pieces of paper and crayons or colored pencils, whatever you have,
Yeah.
so that we can also, you can also
Follow along,
follow
right?
along,
Wherever you are. Yeah, because it seemed like, the case example that you gave us, it's her drawing, what she's thinking and feeling, and then you asked her to do, what you want with it to get rid of a card, so she ripped it up and then she put it back together. It's her own doing, and you're just kind of guiding her through the way. So
guiding, yes.
these realizations that she had, she basically kind of realizes by herself in the end. You're just kind of guiding her along the way. I think that's great. Bringing up emotions and thoughts you didn't know maybe you had in you, like out. Very interesting. I'm very excited.
I'm going to
for these
uncover a
couple
lot of
weeks.
things about you, Minsu.
Yeah. Well, you too. You got to draw as well.
I'm an open book.
Yeah.
I don't think you
Same
are.
here. I got nothing
I
to
think
hide.
you've got suppressed issues.
I got nothing. Maybe we'll see next week. 우리 토끼님 하나 유튜브 saying 오늘 진짜 흥미로운 주제네요. 오늘 sorry, I can't see.
미숫가루?
아니요, 미수. Get that heart out of the way. I can't see it. What does it say?
미술치료.
미술치료.
와.
좀 더 가까워진 것 같아요. This interface that, our
Don't
the
blame
browser has.
Don't blame
make
the
it hard to read.
tools.
근데 네, 원장님 너무 흥미로웠어요.
감사합니다.
Very interesting.
네.
Very excited once again for next week.
Me too.
Yeah.
Okay.
네, 원장님 감사합니다. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week. Looking forward to meeting you. We're going to cover art therapy for the next couple of weeks.
So join us next week. Get your crayons, get your pencils, get your paper, and we can do it all together.
네, 감사합니다.
Okay, I will see you
원장님.
all next Thursday then.
Okay, bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.